Good morning, students, and very happy to meet you. Now we are going to see about 10th standard civics second lesson, central government. So before we get into lesson, this lesson has some very important aspects into the constitution as well as the administration in India. Now, what is central government? A central government is the government that is a controlling power over a unitary state. It always equivalent in a federation is the government. It has the supreme government in our country. So, supreme means the highest level of power. The central government, especially Article 52 to 78, it provides enough power to the authorities where the executive authorities are president. So we can divide. The headquarters of the central government is at New Delhi, and they from New Delhi, starting from higher officials, the president, prime minister and his council of ministers, and executive authorities were work for us in order to have the peaceful was among nations, to do all benefits to the people. They have to be gathered in the form of parliament. The parliament is a democratic form of setup, which means the people have to be select them via election, and they select representative or leader. It consists of three organs, namely union, executive, legislature and judiciary. The union executive were consist of President of India, the Vice President and the Council of Ministers were headed by the Prime Minister and the Attorney General. Now we can see these three organs is an important. The President of India is the head of executive, whereas his support to Vice President will be having Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. Then the second part, we can see the legislature. It is the form of the parliament. We all know the parliament. The parliament has divided into two houses. One is Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha is called as upper house and Lok Sabha is called as lower house. Rajya Sabha members were elected members, so it is called upper house, whereas Lok Sabha, it is directly elected by the people. Almost the Rajya Sabha 238 members were elected the state assembly, whereas for Rajya Sabha 12 members were the nominated by the president. The 12 members were the exemplary field of art, music, sports and education, etc. And council in Lok Sabha, the 2 members were nominated by the president and the 2 members in Anglo-Indian community. Now after going this whether in Lok Sabha, how remembers are there in Lok Sabha, and goes that 543 members and especially 543 elected people directly, and we call member of parliament. When it goes to Rajya Sabha, people cannot directly cannot select directly the leaders, but our elected members can select the Rajya Sabha members. And the Lok Sabha house is very powerful house because our Prime Minister itself is from the Lok Sabha only, and all together the majority party of the Lok Sabha only can become out the party is majority. It's from that party only the Prime Minister is being selected, and he is only the Prime Minister of our nation. So Prime Minister comes out the Lok Sabha only, and he is not elected directly by the selected members, but he is selected by us, by our vote, depending upon the political party, and from that party is majority party, and they come up for the post of nominated as a Prime Minister, and thereafter the President approves the Prime Minister. Now what is the difference between Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha? Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, especially the term of period, Lok Sabha is only for term as a 5 years, whereas it goes to the Rajya Sabha is not 5 years, but it so goes to the term of 6 years. And next we can find out the third organ. We can tell it is very important on India, especially to the lead of justice, the judiciary. So now who is topping the judiciary? When it goes, automatically remembers the Supreme Court of India. Now we can remember how many judges were in Supreme Court of India. It has 33 judges and one chief justice. He was appointed by the President. The Indian Constitution under Article 53 vests the executive power of the Union in the President, who shall exercise the executive power directly or through officers subordinate to him, and according with the Constitution, he is the first citizen of India, and he is the supreme commander of the armed force. He is selected by the indirect election, and he is elected by an electoral college. In accordance with the system, the electoral college consists of qualification for no person shall be eligible for election as president unless he is a citizen of India and he has completed the age of 35, and then he is qualified for election as a member of the Lok Sabha, and a person shall not be eligible for election as a president if he holds any office of profit under the government of India. Election of president. He was elected members of both houses of parliament and the elected members of the legislative assemblies of the states. The election of the President of India is in accordance with the system proportional representation. That means a single transferable vote, and the system of secret ballot is adopted for the election of the president, and he is elected for a period of 5 years, and also he is eligible for re-election for second term. Powers of the president. It can be broadly consist of executive powers, um, legislative powers, financial powers, judicial powers, military powers, diplomatic powers, and emergency powers. Now let me see one by one. Executive power. The Constitution of India provides that the executive powers of the Union government shall be vested in the President, and all the executive actions of the government are taken in the name of the President. He was appointed the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers, the governors of the states, the Chief Justice, and others. And also, he appoints a commission to investigate into the condition of SC, ST, and other backward classes. Legislative powers. He is an integral part of the Union government, and also he inaugurates the session of the Parliament by the addressing in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and he nominates 12 members to Rajya Sabha, and no bill passed by the Parliament can be before a law without the assent. That means official agreement to something. Financial powers. No money bill can be introduced in the Parliament without the recommendation of the President, and he is authorized to make advances out of to meet the unforeseen expenditure, pending its final authorization by the Parliament. Unforeseen means unexpected in every 5 years, and also he appoints a finance commission. Judicial powers. The President has the power to grant pardon, reprieve, or remissions of punishment, and he has a right to seek advice of the Supreme Court on a matter involving constitution and law, and also he is not answerable to any court of law for excess. Military powers. The Constitution of which the supreme command of the armed forces in the hands of the President, and he has the power to declare war and peace, but his military powers are subject to the regulation of law by the Parliament. Therefore, he has the power to regulate or control the exercise of such powers. Diplomatic powers. India is represented in international form by the President of India. He sends and receives ambassadors. All international treaties and agreement are concluded on behalf of the President, subject to ratification by the Parliament. Emergency powers. President of India can declare 3 types of emergencies. National emergency, as per provisions of Article 352, can be declared due to a war, external aggression, and armed rebellion in whole of India. A state emergency, as Article 356, it is called President's rule. In India, almost all states have tested this emergency. This is declared on account of failure of constitutional machinery in the state. and is declared on the basis of report of governor or other sources. Financial emergencies as per Article 360, if the President of India is satisfied uh, that there are circumstances in which the finance stability it has not been declared in India ever. In the financial emergency, almost all financial powers are assumed by the President. Removal of the President. The President may also be removed before the expiry of the term through impeachment for violating the Constitution of India by the Parliament of India, and the process may start in either of the two houses of the Parliament. The houses initiates the process by leveling the charges against the President. Privilege of President. According to Article 361 says, the President shall not be answerable to any court for the exercise and performance of the powers and duties of his office, and no criminal proceedings whatsoever shall be instituted or continued against the President in any court during his term of office. Vice President. He occupies the second highest office in the country. He is elected by the member of proportional representation by a single transferable vote. Qualification for the election as Vice President. A person shall be eligible for the election of the Vice President if he or she is a citizen of India and he has completed the age of 35 years and he is qualified for election as a member of Rajya Sabha. Election and term of the Vice President. Article 66 Part 1. The Vice President shall be elected by the members of an electoral college consisting of the member of both houses of Parliament, and the Vice President shall not be a member of either House of Parliament. The Vice President holds office for 5 years and he can be re-elected any member of times. However, the office may be terminated earlier by death, resignation or removal, and when the President dies in office and Vice President takes over as President, he can continue of 6 months within which a new President shall be elected. Removal of the Vice President. The Vice President can be removed from his office by resolution of the resolution raised only in Rajya Sabha, passed by effective majority, and prior to passing the resolution in Rajya Sabha, a 14 days notice should be served to him. Functions of the Vice President. He is not a member of the Rajya Sabha, yet he acts as its chairman and he conducts the events of the House, and also he maintains discipline and decorum in the House. So decorum means behavior in keeping with good and proprieties, and he has the power to take action against those who violate the rule of Rajya Sabha. He has no right to vote as he is not a member of Rajya Sabha. However, as a chairman, he can give a casting vote in case of tie. Casting vote means an extra vote given by a chairperson to decide an issue when the votes on each side are equal. Prime Minister. India has adopted the British parliamentary executive mode with the government. The Prime Minister as the head of the government and is the most important political institution. Article 74 Part 1 says the Prime Minister shall appointed by the President. The appointment is not by the choice of the President. The appoints the leader of majority party in the Lok Sabha. Duties and functions of the Prime Minister. Article 78 mentions the duties of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister recommends the names as the member of his team to appointment as a minister. The President can only make those peoples as ministers whose names are recommended by the Prime Minister. Prime Minister determines which department will be given to which minister, and he can also change the allotted department of any minister, and he also controls and directs the activities of all ministers. As the leader of the nation, he represents our nation at all international conferences like the Commonwealth Summit of the Non-Aligned Nations and SAARC countries. So here SAARC means South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation. Council of Ministers. Council of Ministers has a ministry in different rank. These ranks are not specified in the constitution but rather done informally following English practice. And there are three ranks of Council of Ministers. Number one is Cabinet Minister, and another one is Ministers of the State, and last one Deputy Minister. Now Cabinet Minister. He is an informal body, senior ministers who form the inner circle of the Council of Ministers. Cabinet Ministers leads ministers such as defense, finance, external affairs, and home. Ministers of State. Ministers of State or outer circle. It is two kinds. An independent charge have the charge of ministry. Whether independent charge is junior minister who does not report to cabinet minister. Minister of State without independent charge is junior junior minister who reports to cabinet minister and usually given as specific responsibilities in that minister. Deputy ministers. The ministers who have not been in independent charge of the ministry, they don't take part in any cabinet deliberation. Parliament of India. Parliament is supreme legislative body of our country. It consists of president and two houses, as the Council of States, Rajya Sabha, and the House of People, Lok Sabha. The drafting committee, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, recommends the parliamentary type of government. On 26th January 1950, the Constitution of India entered force, and this Constitution Assembly came the provincial parliament of our India. Passing of bills and making of laws are the main duties of both the house of the parliament. And Parliament deals with the transport and communication, banking, uh, railways, foreign affairs, defense, customs, excise duties, and others. During budget session in the Parliament, one of the most important session because it decides financial management policies of the country. Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha is the Council of States, which is permanent body. The maximum strength of Rajya Sabha is 250 members, out of which 238 members represent states and union territories, and 12 members are nominated by the president from the field of literature, science, commerce, arts, and social service, etc. Qualification of the members. Article 84 of the Constitution lays down the qualification for membership of Parliament. A member of the Rajya Sabha must be a citizen of India and not be less than 30 years of age. He should not hold any office of profit under any government. He should not be the member of Lok Sabha or any other legislature. Term of houses. Term of house. It is a permanent house. The members are elected for a term of 6 years. One third members were retired every 2 years. The vice president is the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha, and the members are elected by the elected members of the state assemblies, and they have a single transferable vote, so it is called indirect election. When it goes to the Lok Sabha, Lok Sabha is called as People's House or otherwise powerful house. Why? Because the Rajya Sabha members they are only 250, but the Lok Sabha maximum members 552, and present we have 545. Why? Because the Lok Sabha members were electing directly us, but Rajya Sabha members cannot elect directly, but our elected representatives will go and select. Money bill. When it goes to Lok Sabha, money bills can be introduced only in Lok Sabha. When in the terms of Rajya Sabha, all the bills should be introduced, and if the Rajya Sabha approves the bill, then it goes to the amendments. Functions of Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, both are very similar, whereas we saw the members. The term of them is Lok Sabha is totally 5 years only, but Rajya Sabha is 6 years. When it goes in the power, the powers are very similar. Whether Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, the Lok Sabha is very powerful because the Lok Sabha members all together they can go for the no confidence motion. That means if they are not satisfied that activities of the Prime Minister or Council of Ministers, this Lok Sabha can go for motion of no confidence, where they can remove. This motion of no confidence is passed, and the majority Lok Sabha member are against Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. Automatically the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers should resign in the law. The Speaker. The Constitution provides for a Speaker and Deputy Speaker for the Lok Sabha and a Chairman and deputy chairman for the Rajya Sabha. They are chosen by the Lok Sabha members. Generally speaking, the position of the speaker in India more. He is the head of the Lok Sabha, and the smooth and orderly conduct by the business of the house is primarily his responsibility. Powers and functions of Parliament. It has the functions of legislature and overseeing of administration, and also passing budget and then discussion of various subjects like development plans. Functions of Parliament and not only varied in nature, but it considerable in volume. Attorney General. Attorney General is the legal officer, and he give legal advice to the government, and also is primary lawyer in the Supreme Court of India, and he is appointed by the President of India under Article 76 Part 1. He is an act of the government is allowed to take up private practice provided the other party is not the state. Now, who is the present Attorney General of India 2020? K.K. Venugopal. Judiciary. Judiciary is the third main part of the government. It protecting the rights and freedom of the citizens. It comprises the Supreme Court of the at the acts followed by the high courts in different states and the subordinate courts. The Supreme Court, the high courts and the subordinate courts are all linked to each other. Hence, the judicial system is also known as an integrated judicial system. The judiciary is an independent organ. The Supreme Court is the highest court in India, and it is the guardian of the Indian Constitution. It is located at New Delhi. It comprises the Chief Justice and a maximum of 33 other judges. The Supreme hears and gives rulings on both civil and criminal cases. The High Court is the highest court in the state. Each High Court in India has the jurisdiction of the one or more states and union territories. Presently, there are 24 High Courts in India. Of these, 3 High Courts have control over more than one state, and High Court consists of a Chief Justice and other judges. The High Courts deal with the cases such as those concerning the fundamental rights of citizens, elections, petitions, and other civil criminal cases. Okay, students, thank you.